Welcome back, children. Today we're going to be doing something nobody has ever done before. And I'm not referring to biting your toenails without getting a little stretch pain. No, I'm referring to a top 10. That's right, you heard it first here. Everyone else just keeps stealing my ideas, again. Anyway, this top 10 is only part 1, and it's all about those beautifully open world type games where the side quests are more intriguing than the story. What? I can't say that? Because it's true and the people will get offended by it? And now I'm repeating everything you say into the microphone? Let's start strong, shall we? The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. Let's be honest, you were expecting this on the list, just as much as I was expecting my test results to come back positive. But we all can't be winners. We can, however, all play one of the greatest games of all time. Red Project has been developing the Witcher games since early 2007. Though The Witcher 2 was a success, it hasn't nearly received as much love and attention as The Witcher 3, which also led a huge lead into becoming its own TV series. Though there have been many spin-off films of popular games, none have quite been as successful, unless we're referring to the Mario Brothers. That film is a gem. A gem! I don't care what anybody says. Dying Light. Dying Light is actually rather reminiscent of that free-running game nobody really remembers, and that other zombie game that glitched so badly you can still see the developers working on it, on release day. Except this game actually works, crafting night and day cycles to determine what kind of monsters will be giving you anxiety when you play the game. However, the most unique aspect of this game is the cooperative play. Sure, it's fun on your own, but when all of your friends are running in fear, it just makes it that much more enjoyable. That and everyone drop-kicking the biggest zombie going because, well, you've run out of bullets. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I can already hear the sweet melody of kill chants, sharpened pitchforks, and the smell of burning wood lighting up the town close by as they march on up to my home. But this wouldn't be the first time, of course. Skyrim is fun for sure, but there's just something special about crafting 100% chameleon and running around town, terrorizing the people, and the guard being constantly lost of your whereabouts. But aside from that, it has a more interesting questline, backstories, objectives, and generally a bigger personality, which is more than I can say for these damn inventions of mine. Anyway, Marvel's SpiderMan. What absolute delight of a game this is. Though the map may not be as huge as the rest on this list, this game does boast everything that they do not. Spiders, and lots of them. Wait, no, sorry. It boasts a Spider-Man, and lots of him. With the ability to swing around Manhattan, jump off tall buildings, and use your sticky webs to catch criminals. This game is a charming addition to the gaming community. Fallout New Vegas. Arguably the better game of the two, the other being Fallout 3, of course. I believe the reason that this game has so much more charm than the other is that you don't begin in a vault. You begin with a bullet in your skull and loss of memory. Odd enough that happened to my last assistant, but it's probably just a coincidence. If you think that Fallout New Vegas only has that to offer, you are gravely mistaken, my friend. With an interesting arcing story and plenty of side quests to do, this game will surely have you playing for hours. Dragon Age Inquisition. No one can deny the sheer enjoyment that BioWare puts out, and Inquisition is no different. Though for this series, they had gone through many different combat styles. I believe they finally finalized the look and feel that they've wanted to portray since Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age Inquisition doesn't change much in terms of the story, but further develops upon it, and gives us a much wider grasp of the situation. If you're already a fan of the Dragon Age series, this is a game that shouldn't be slept on. And yes, they keep the super awkward sex scenes that my mother always happens to walk in on. Saints Row the Third. Most of you will probably know this game much better as the bobble-headed, dildo katana-wielding legend. That's right, this game takes all the great bits about Grand Theft Auto and then just messes with it. With a very delectable array of clothing and cars, the world is certainly your oyster. And though the game may be wacky, the story for the game is actually rather enjoyable. Minecraft. This game is as open world as it gets, especially for the PC releases, as it allows for the game to expand much further. This game is so huge that people have literally recreated the World of Warcraft maps, Hogwarts, the Imperial Summer Palace, and even the Titanic, but don't let that sink you. If you're looking for a game that boasts creativity without the hardships of learning how to use 3D software, and love the idea of creating voxel-based creations, then this game is the game for you, but be wary of those creepers. Middleearth: Shadow of Mordor. A very surprising but welcomed addition to the LOTR gaming community. With a super sleek combat and well-designed sneak mechanics, it is your choice to head in strong or peel off your enemies from the backline. The Nemesis system was especially intriguing as it allowed you to create rivalries between orcs, discover weaknesses, and gain an overall advantage during combat. Sleeping Dogs. I feel this game is a bit underrated, so I wanted to give it some light in these dark times. Sleeping Dogs is very similar to that of Grand Theft Auto and the Yakuza game series. The best part of Sleeping Dogs, however, is the hand-to-hand combat and slow-motion knockouts. There's something so satisfying about parrying an attack and dealing the final blow and being able to watch that slowly as they turtle towards the floor. The overall story of the game is quite interesting too. You're an undercover cop who has to decide between the gang you're in and helping the police, which, if you're morally conscious, can be a difficult decision. Well, you stuck around to the end, I see. Well, pat yourself on the back. You've earned it. Now quickly subscribe. We must reach 120,000 before the end of the month, and like this video also. It will give you good fortune. Ooh. And the strength to finally nibble on those toenails. Believe me, I just liked it and subscribed to my own channel, and now I can even reach my little toe. Progress.